I was rewatching a live I did on October 16th, and it's a lung healing live, and I sent it over to my editor, Shaden, so he could upload it to YouTube. But I like walk people through how to create their own lung healing. And I was thinking about this with the whole like quantum physics stuff and quantum entanglement that people are talking about. So in the science aspect of things, the way they speak of quantum entanglement or stuff like, okay, let's go into like the Schroeder's, I can't fucking say his name, cat theory, where like it's a cat in a box and you put like one nuclear atom or some shit in there, and like you can't tell if it's alive or dead. It's both because you haven't perceived it. You have not seen what it was. So it could be either or both, according to quantum. And it was made to like make fun of the theory. But if this whole thing of like nothing is true until you perceive it, right? Until you give energy to it or to expression to it. This is how we work. So when I tell people like in that live, I'm like, okay, we're going to do this like the magic school bus, which is like something that Kate and I use to describe what we do. And you say, take me inside my lungs. Spirit, if it's in my head, is going to take me inside my lungs. You will either see yourself inside what you would imagine lungs to look like, or you will feel yourself inside what you would imagine being inside like the feeling of inside lungs would feel like. You are perceiving the inside of your lungs. And then I walk them through how to like clean it off and then, do more healings and stuff to it. So just to get you back out of it, Spirit, please bring me back to my current vessel. Okay. So the house cleanse, I'm moving to a different subject, but staying on the same topic. The house cleanse, which is my first pinned video on TikTok. Once you create that healing, like when you say those phrases out loud, you are envisioning, imagining, and watching it happen. You are like, if I was to say this phrase, what would it feel like? What would it look like? And therefore making it a reality inside your home. You are moving molecules on a quantum level based off of adding perception to those molecules. When you are finished with that, anything that you perceive to be an object, anything you make a noun, you can apply your healings to. So like the house cleanse, you can say, please apply my house cleanse to my astral pathways. Your astral pathways are now either a tube or a hallway because you have called them pathways. Please apply my house cleanse to my communication pathways. They are now a noun. Does this make sense? Okay, so back to making things a noun. Any healing that you create, so your house cleanse, I'm using that example again, the first pinned video in my TikTok. If you apply your house cleanse to your finances, all those steps that you have like programmed in of the like soul fragments and portals and cleansings and all of that, you are now applying it to your finances. You are bringing attention to your finances. And all of those movements and molecular structures that you have given attention to now happen in the reality of things. Okay? So this theory, this is like, if you can understand that basis, and I like to use the analogy of an F3 key a lot, because like in a computer, if you program an action to the F3 button, every time you hit the F3 button, that action will happen. If you don't have the proper setup for that action to happen open, then that F3 will go nowhere. That's what those money manifestation songs are, where it's like money will flow to me. You have nothing to catch it. Where is it flowing from? You're putting in this action with no tangible start, middle, finish. So you're like saying all this shit and it's not, you don't have your attention drawn to the details of what needs to happen. That is the difference between the coding and just the manifestations. But also, in that aspect, that horrible traumatic thing that happened to you in your last relationship, with your sibling, with your partner, with your parent. If you think about that happening every day that you think about it happening again, if you don't rewrite it, if you don't reconstruct it, if you don't heal it, you will live that moment to the most intensity of it actually happening to you over and over and fucking over again. So think of like, if you think of that, let's say a bad breakup that you had. If you think about the details of that, you can feel it in your body emotionally, physically, just like it happened again, and you can go into a depressive mood because of remembering it so clearly. In fact, Spirit, if it's in my highest good, please release soul fragments specifically with that breakup. Wrap them in divine justice and love, light, and forgiveness. Return them to the rightful owners at this time. Okay. So these soul fragments are literally just energetic frequencies, energetic molecules shared by the experience of the people who experience them. I have consciously experienced my experience of the breakup. My ex has experienced the breakup. Those molecules of the energy that person and myself have experienced together, the way that I perceive them, what I put on them, the way they perceive them, what they energetically put on me, that moment in time, the friend group from that breakup, the family from that breakup, the career from that breakup, all the rippling from that breakup. If you release the soul fragments connected specifically to that breakup, you have put that entire experience in a noun, that breakup. And you have released all the soul fragments between yourself, that partner, the business, your friends, your family, and you've given everybody back their soul fragments. It has released that moment in time. And that is major even on a basic structure of it. So you can go further by jumping on that timeline. As in, Spirit, please take me to that moment in time right before the breakup. If you knew then what you know now, you can do prevention and protection work for that moment of yourself. You can give yourself a light bulb moment to do it differently, to say something different, to act differently, to either be a little bit sweeter or a little bit more vicious, to put yourself more in control of that situation, or to not give a fuck whether you're in control or not. You have the awareness. If you have the awareness to change that moment in time, you can change it on a cellular level for your now moment. You are no longer affected by that relationship the same way that you were in that moment. You've taken that power back, you've put it back in your hands, and your cells remember it. Just like your brain controls your breathing, it controls your... Shit, how's the best example for this? Tell someone they're dying of cancer and they have a death sentence. The brain says you're dying. They start to die. They could live with cancer for a decade or more, never know they have it, and be perfectly fine. Does this make sense? I'm passionate about this subject, but yeah, I guess that's all for today. Check out the house cleanse. I have it pinned to this video. Okay, bye!